All right, guys, I am on really the first page of the Kanga Transmatch tuner build. This is a pocket Transmatch by Kanga. I just wrapped the toroid based on the first instructions, just 13 turns. Really easy to do. There's like this stigma that it's hard to wrap toroids. It's not. It's really easy. I didn't even know what soldering flux was a few weeks ago. So, if I can build one of these, anyone can. Anyway, gonna film some build videos along the way with the Kanga. My goal is hopefully activate a park with 100% homebrew. My QMX I built, this Transmatch, as well as the QRP guys, no tune antenna. So I'll make some videos along the way, and then we'll hopefully film that POTA activation. All right, well, it appears evident that the toroid is definitely going to be the most challenging part of the build. And I completed this relatively quickly. I don't think I've wound wire within wire before on a toroid. That wasn't part of a QMX build that I did. I do make sure this last turn sits flush. You can see it kind of sticking there, but that's not hard to do. I'm just going to pull it tight. The main thing I need to do now, and this is something I did screw up on my QMX build, is just making sure I get all of the enamel. So this wire needs to be exposed. So you're supposed to tin these, and that's going to require that you get the enamel off of the section that's actually going to be soldered to the board. So you've got to line it up, get it flush, really get the enamel off so that the solder solders and that it connects. So that's something I screwed up before, and that's going to be my main focus, especially where this is kind of the most challenging part of the build. All right, guys, we've got the main board all assembled. About to drop it on to the switchboard. A couple more things to do, like I've got to throw in the BNCs, get it all in the case, and wire it up. And that can be the hardest part, to be honest, sometimes with compact cases like this. So we'll see, but yeah, not gonna lie, I thought this was gonna turn into like a little build series, and I was gonna throw this together in a couple days. But I mean, I got this thrown together in an hour or two. It's actually a really easy kit. It says in the instructions to not build this if you're a beginner, which I'm technically not. I've built a QMX, and I built a QRP guys NFET half wave. But man, I think you could tackle this even if you're a beginner. It's not the hardest project in the world. Maybe do it as like your second project. All right, so I got cocky and made my first mistake. You are not supposed to solder this red LED. That is supposed to be protruding up. It's supposed to be sticking out basically to where those switches have their threads. So I soldered that and ruined this LED indicator light. But, I don't have any electronic stores near me. But I have this Learn to Solder kit that I bought forever ago that I never did. Instead, I decided to just start building radios and other things. And this LED kit has a spare red LED that I need. So sometimes it's better to be lucky. All right, well, that was a huge mistake. Whenever you solder something small like this, it's actually really hard to get out. I had to use quite a bit of soldering wick and flux to get it, so do not recommend skipping that step. All right, sorry guys, my cell phone camera really does not like to focus. Got the LED situated. I think these switches are going to be a tight fit with the threads, but I'm not worried about getting them on there a couple turns. Just wiring up the BNCs. Just got to do these last connectors with the black wire, and then we're going to throw this thing in the case. All right, got the BNCs all connected up. attach the board. Now just gonna flip it over, do the self-tapping screws, and we should be ready to test this. All right, we are all done. We're ready to go test this thing. Really simple build in my opinion. Maybe not your first ever time using a soldering iron, but I do think a beginner builder could build this. I could have possibly done it, I think, after my NFED half-wave build, but now that I've built a QMX, this thing was about as easy as it gets. So, but I will say the thing that's challenging in these builds is getting the enamel off the toroids, and I'm about to go find out if I did a good enough job on that, and I hope I did. I think I spent a lot of time on it, so next video portion will be me testing this. So it has some pretty specific testing instructions. We're gonna go do that. All right, going to try to take you guys through the test. I've got the QMX hooked up to the Kanga Transmatch. So the first step, it says, is to switch to Opera and to unbalanced because it's coax fed. And then it says, adjust these two knobs to find the most amount of noise. About right there. So that's part one. I'm gonna do the next part now. All right, so nice thing about this tuner is this SWR light kind of gives you your indication when you're in tune mode. And my QMX has a little SWR reader. So you'll notice if I take this and adjust it down, that light's gonna disappear. And it just brought my SWR down to 1.11. Now that's on 3.5 megahertz, but I'll go ahead and show you guys some other tests real fast. So let's go ahead and go back. Let's go to tune SWR. Let's go to 14 megahertz. So I'm at 1.9 here with the LED on. I'm gonna turn this LED off with some adjustments. Ooh, there we go. And now we're down to 1.4.